caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
From the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we
Good evening and welcome to the couch. Why is my fucking camera doing this? This is going to piss me off. Like, it was going good and then it's been doing this all day. I have no idea what's going on with this fucking thing, but it's going to piss me off. But how are you? I am your host, Michael Calderese. If we could have a camera that worked, I will be dangerous. I promise you I will be dangerous. I don't know what is going on with this. Unbelievable. I try to turn it off, turn it back in method. I really have no idea what is going on. We have to turn this thing back on. Let's see if I can get this camera back working. I apologize, guys. Here's my green screen. This is what happens when my camera goes off. So let's see if I can switch it to my regular camera. I don't know if it's going to let me. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Gotta love starting off a show with some bullshit technical problems that have been creeping up. I don't know if it's my cam link. I don't know what's going on, but the last couple of shows, it wants to put me in that little ass box. I don't know if it's something to do with StreamYard, the connection. Who knows? But I can tell you something. I apologize, Yankee68, for interrupting your curling. But I am interrupting your regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you the caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese, like I said, before my camera started going haywire. And tonight, we are your defense mechanism from two things. Number one, all things Olympics all the time. I know in my house, I have nothing but the Olympics on. I love it. I am addicted to curling. I am so addicted to curling. I made a video expressing that curling should be in our lives more than once every 4 years. It pisses me off that it's not in our lives more than once every 4 years. But I guess it's something we're gonna have to remedy with the powers that be. But I do. I would love the Olympics. I wish I could play some clips for you. I would get copyrighted like immediately on that. But I think, dude, I'm not sure what I like better, the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics. But every time the Winter Olympics comes around, I love them. I love the luge. I think about the joke. I think it was Carlin said about the involuntary luge. But I do. I love the Olympics. I'm sure you're inundated with them. But today, it's, again, you look at the news and you go, okay, what do I want to bring? What do I want to talk about today? Do I want to talk about the same shit? And what do you look at in the news? And this is what the caltrop's your defense from. Because it's all day Epstein, all day Savannah Guthrie's mom. Savannah Guthrie is pleading for this woman, and this woman's still gone. Day 21, Savannah Guthrie's mom is still missing. But the FBI is close. They're on the clue. They have a thing. They have a face. They have eyes that they can see in the back of a mask. And it's like, you do have 300,000 kids, they said, went missing last year. We do know there's an incredible amount of child sex trafficking. There's kids that go missing. There's parents that are begging for their kids to come back. And we don't have the 24/7 hour watch for these people. I'm sorry I can't get in it with you with your 80-year-old mom. I apologize. But it's going on 2 weeks of nonstop coverage in this woman. Update live updates on the FBI, what the FBI is doing today at 8 o'clock on CNN. It's fucking nonstop. When is it going to end? Jay Calda says watching curling is worse than watching paint dry. Totally disagree with you, Jay Calda. I totally disagree with you. But let's waste no more time. And I am gonna lose my shit with this camera right now. It's really pissing me off, man. Let's fucking go. Versus, oh man, let's do this really quick. Because I've got to figure out this camera thing. I'm going to play you a leftist losing it for 23 seconds, and I'm going to see if I can get my camera to go.
Bigot! I have a First Amendment right to say all of it, and you will tolerate it. Yes, I do! Shit, fuck, cunt, slut, whore, bigot! Look, they can't touch me. It's called the First Amendment, and I have that right.
So if you saw that was a lefty losing it. I love doing that shit. Where is this? It's not even gonna cam link. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see if this is gonna work. We will see if it's gonna work right now. Sorry, I had to do that. I had to see what's going on with this. I tried turning the camera off, turn it back on, replugging everything in. I don't know what is going on with this thing today, but like I said, it's going to piss me off. Might have to try switching cameras. But I wanted to play that for you just so I can kill a little bit of time. But I just love. Let's set the mood. There's nothing better than a big male leftist screaming at women. I mean, you just gotta love it. But let's get this show started off right. With the mics right, shut the fuck up and listen. This is a fun one. All right, everybody. Tonight we're going back in time. This show is going to be about remembering the past. And not nostalgia, not, hey, remember Blockbuster type time travel? No. I'm talking about taking a ride on the American government time machine with me, where every solution becomes tomorrow's crisis. And every crisis requires a bigger solution, which obviously becomes the next crisis. It's not about politics at this point. It's a subscription service to unintended consequences. The ACA, let's start here. Remember, you'll save $2,500. Remember that? The Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Barack Obama. Remember him? Now listen, I'm going to be generous with what he said back then. I won't say Obama lied. I'll say he was just historically wrong about everything. Not a couple of things. Every single promise was wrong. He said things like, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. The average family will save $2,500 per year. And 15 years later, we're sitting here like, why is my premium the size of a house payment and more? What happened? How the fuck did we get here? Tonight, we're going to explore it. Well, it turns out that when you mandate coverage, expand benefits, regulate pricing, penalize noncompliance, and restrict plan structures, costs don't magically go down because you gave the bill a positive name. It's like calling a Michael Vick fighting pit bull cupcake, but you know it's still going to bite you. Millions of plans were canceled in the first few years because they didn't meet the new federal standards. Risk pools skewed older and sicker. Insurers bailed out of the exchanges in certain states. Deductibles skyrocketed. But don't worry, the solution to the ACA problems was more government involvement if we just pass a bill to solve all this. Because you go, when the government burns dinner, the answer to them is clearly, let's cook dinner again. And now, 15 years later, politicians stand on the stage asking, why are our healthcare costs so high? Why? It's you built a Rube Goldberg machine out of regulations, and now you're confused that the marble is on fire. And remember, that legendary line, we have to pass the bill so you can find out what's in it? That wasn't satire. That was real life, everybody. That was said to you, to your face. It's like buying a house and saying, let's sign the mortgage first. Then we'll check to see if there's a foundation or a roof later. Then, of course, there's immigration. Front and center in today's America, isn't it? Immigration, 40 years of we have a plan with no plan. And let's hop back to immigration circa Ronald Reagan in 1986. We're going to discuss this in depth as well. Where he said, we're going to grant amnesty, secure the border, and solve the problem. The Immigration Reform and Control Act gave legal status to about 3 million undocumented immigrants. The pitch? This fixes the problem. The result? Illegal immigration surged in the following years because enforcement mechanisms weren't strong enough, surprise, surprise, and the employer sanctions were weakly applied. There was like unintended consequence number 37. Now, fast forward to Bush in the 2000s, talking about comprehensive reform and a need for labor. The argument hasn't changed in decades. We need workers. We need compassion. We need security. We need reform. And every bill either fails, half passes, or creates brand new administrative messes. Then 10 years later, we go, wow, how did this thing get so complicated? Because every fix is designed to not actually end the debate, but to start it all over again. Isn't that funny? Think about it. If immigration were successfully resolved, secured, clearly, permanently, what would half of Congress have to campaign on? Or what would the protesters have to do next week? But we all know you can't run ads about a solved problem. And you can't fire people when there's no issues. So the problems must live. It's like political farming. They don't harvest the issue. They irrigate it. And to me, that is the politician's fucking job description. Let's be honest about what their job actually is. A politician isn't to solve. It's to delay decisions until they're irrelevant. To keep issues emotionally alive in your heads, in your minds, in your hearts. To pass complex bills nobody reads and then blame the other sides when that bill fails. They run on fixing the failure that they helped create. It's beautiful in the most insanely disgusting way. We've got people who've been in office 30, 40, 50 years, and somehow they all speak as if they just arrived yesterday. My opponent created this mess. It's all them. Bro, you were there. You voted for this mess. The bill has got your name on it. It's like an arsonist running for fire chief on a strong fire response platform. And the wild part is they reuse the same exact talking points. Same phrases, same promises, same this time is going to be different. We're actually going to solve the problem lines. If you fail at your job for 50 years in the private sector, you're fired. In the government, you get seniority. And that furthers the cycle of government failure. And here's the problem, or here's the pattern. A problem exists. Government proposes a massive bill. The bill passes with 2,000 pages. Unintended consequences appear. Costs rise. Confusion spreads. Government says, holy shit, we must act. Bigger bill proposed. Repeat. It's legislative Groundhog's Day without the comedy. And if you haven't seen that episode, go back a week or two and watch it. And the more they intervene, the more fragile the system becomes. Healthcare, immigration, student loans, housing. Every solution creates distortions. Then they stand here stunned. How could this possibly happen? Because incentives matter, everybody. If your job security depends on unresolved issues, why would you ever truly resolve them? And the brutal truth here's the part that really I don't think anybody wants to admit, is it's not that they don't learn. It's that learning would require admitting failure on their part. And admitting failure would mean repealing the laws they made, shrinking power, giving authority back to the states, or here's a novel concept, the individuals, saying we were wrong. And in politics, being wrong is worse than being ineffective. So instead, they double down. Same ideas, new catchphrases, different slogans. They don't fix the hole in the boat. They just redesign the life jackets. Think about that. And the only thing that they've perfected in 50 years isn't healthcare, isn't border policy, it isn't fiscal responsibility. It's the art of screwing things up and convincing us the fix is just one more bill away. And the greatest of all unintended consequences is we keep re-electing the people who broke it like morons because they promise to repair the damage they caused. It's like battered wife syndrome on a national scale. And we all keep saying, hit me again, Ike, and put some stank on it. What movie's that from? It's not the government. Or that's not government. That's a perpetual motion machine of incompetence. And the fuel, well, that's us. I say, who's got matches? So Mike's right. I really hope you listened. All right, just like Big Pharma Yankee 68, I have, just so you know, I'm getting a little bit more technologically sophisticated. Not that my camera is going to tell you any different, because my camera I haven't looked at it. Was it going in and out, or was it solid? Let me know in the chat. I'm a dumbass because I only have this much water. I'm gonna have to ration my water like I'm Tom Hanks in Castaway, where I'm drinking capfuls at a time. I hope during one of these videos, I might have to hustle downstairs and get myself some water. But everybody's in the chat. I do have the chat up on the screen right now. Listen, check this out. I can look at the YouTube chat right now that has Jerry in it. Hello, all. I don't see Amen Disco or anybody else in there. I do love it when they join us. But listen, I love you guys when you listen to me now, later, at any point in time. Listen to the clips, listen to the show. I love having you with me. Yankee 68 in the Rumble chat. Jay Calda, Center Cut Media. It's Johnny 69, The Boat. It's Johnny. He's going to be 40. His old ass is going to be 40 on Saturday. It's Johnny 69. I think we're going to be going out. Johnny, we haven't had a chance to fully discuss it. Trying to get an answer from my wife is kind of like pulling teeth. The Boat. Let's fucking go. Us. I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I love what you're saying, The Boat. I love it, bro. Check him out tomorrow night. He's going to be on. Fucking, what is it called? Reignited, right? Your page, I believe, is called Reignited, but it is Wolves and Wise Men. Those guys are fucking awesome. I love them. Absolutely hysterical, him and his brother and their other co-host. Can't remember his name. What is his name? Write it in the chat for me, The Boat. Write it in the chat. My brain is actually blanking right now. But let's get into this right now, because there's a lot of things. I love doing this, everybody, because you cannot forget the past. If we forget the past or the mistakes that we did, or not understanding the past, or not ever understanding that there was an Immigration Act of 1965, and what did that do, and what were the results to it? If you don't know this shit, what are you going to do? You're gonna let these politicians just lie to your face. And in the world that we're in right now, the 24-hour news cycle world, where we all, I feel like everybody is 10-second Tom. You ever see that movie 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, on how her brain resets at night, and then you have the one dude called 10-second Tom? We're a whole bunch of Drew Barrymores and 10-second Toms. And now I'm not talking 10-second Tom in the bedroom, for those that don't know. His memory reset every 10 seconds. And that's what I feel like we are. That's what I feel like we're getting to. I think that's what we're being conditioned to. What is it now? What is it now? Let's sensationalize it now. Let's get you hyped up now, because we need views, we need clicks, we need listens. But nobody takes the time to go back in time and say, hey, you know what? Let's listen to Obama in his own words about the ACA. Let's listen to it, or about the Affordable Care Act.
It will actually reduce the deficit by $4 trillion over the long term. Reducing the waste and inefficiency in Medicare and Medicaid will pay for most of this plan. It will slow the growth of healthcare costs for our families, our businesses, and our government. There will be a provision in this plan that requires us to come forward with more spending cuts if the savings we promised don't materialize.
So those are 4 lies that this guy went through. And you know, the interesting part is everybody, when you get the people that want to say MAGA every other 3 words, it's kind of like when you have the racists that want to say white every other word. You have those people that want to say MAGA, and they always complain about, oh, well, Donald Trump didn't bring down energy or didn't bring down food prices like he said. And he didn't do, and they hold him somehow accountable to every last little tiny detail of what he said. But this man got into office and said shit like this.
And you can keep your plan if you are satisfied with it.
If you like the plan you have, you can keep it. I intend to keep this promise. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. If you like your plan and your doctor, you can keep them. You'll be able to keep your health care plan. If you like...
Or he said shit like this.
A system where we're going to work with your employers to lower your premiums by up to $2,500 per family per year.
We will start by reducing premiums by as much as $2,500 per family.
Here's what changes, saying to people who already have health insurance and the employers who are providing it, we'll work to lower your premiums by up to $2,500 per family per year. I also have a health care plan that would save the average family $2,500 on their premiums.
And if you already have health care, then we're going to reduce costs an average of $2,500 per family on premiums.
We're going to work with your employer to lower the cost of your premiums by up to $2,500 a year.
So, I mean, you had that. This dude was saying this, running on it for president. This is what one of his campaign promises. I have a plan. If you remember, I have a plan. I have a plan. I have a plan. And when he got in there, it was the plan. It was the plan. It was the plan. And then it was, if you remember, it was shovel-ready projects. Does everybody remember that? We have shovel-ready. You know what? Here you go, Obama. You take it.
Economy is stronger. That economic heartbeat is growing stronger.
All of them have projects that are shovel-ready.
Shovel-ready projects.
Shovel-ready projects.
We are seeing shovels hit the ground.
Shovel-ready was not as shovel-ready as we expected.
The next 2 years.
No shit. Oh, shovel-ready wasn't as shovel-ready as we expected. There's nothing that dude said that was factually accurate or came true. There's not one bill that he sold to you that he delivered on a promise. Not one. The ACA did nothing of what he said it was going to do. And let's go through every single one of the promises, okay? And let's look at it. This is what I just, when you go through Google, I like seeing what they say about it. These are the ACA promises. It would make healthcare a right, not a privilege, by reducing costs, covering the uninsured, and allowing people to keep their existing plans and doctors. Key pledges include saving American families $2,500 annually, lowering overall healthcare spending, and prohibiting insurance from denying coverage due to pre-existing conditions. And it would not add one dime. Do you remember this? Not one dime to the deficit. Not one dime. It was fully paid for. And some say, oh, Mike, but you can have get things of pre-existing conditions. You can get it now. He didn't give you any protection with it, did he? You can still go bankrupt with it. You still have to pay for all the care. They didn't cover everything. A lot of these plans covered so much that a lot of these insurers pulled out of it. This is why the rates are so expensive. But some more promises. Frequent repeated pledge would not disrupt existing coverage. $2,500. Another promise. To cover the uninsured, roughly $45 million at the time, a guarantee that insurance could not deny coverage or charge more for health history. All right, you have all these broken promises. Now, here's the promise: the ACA will help cut the deficit, including student loans. The truth of the matter, on the right, the ACA is significantly added to the federal debt, including costly student loans. It's broken promise number one. Number two, would curve the cost savings by $2,500 per family. I think we all know that's a horseshit one. The ACA would save lives. The truth, life expectancy fell 3 consecutive years for the first time in nearly 100 years for the years following the ACA's passage. And we have not gotten healthier as a society. We have gotten fatter. We've gotten much more unhealthy. We've all gotten way more disgustingly obese. I'm not saying we all, but as a country, has it made us healthier, right? The ACA would be a program only for U.S. citizens. By 2024, many unauthorized immigrants would be enrolled in subsidized American Care Act plans. Unbelievable. The ACA would take the stress out of shopping for healthcare. Well, the ACA portal was one of the most disgusting things that have ever been fucking brought up. Who remembers this debacle? Do you remember this? I use this line a lot, but there were legit monkey shit fights in the zoo that were more organized than the ACA launch of that website. Do you remember how disgustingly done it was? You had the website. Let's go through them. There was no coordination. There's too much time spent on policy development. They had let's go through all this. $93 million swelled to a $1.7 billion total cost. The site was so dysfunctional when people signed into it, it completely kicked them out. It was a year late. This was what's going on with all this stuff. This is what was going on. Broker Promise 6, Medicaid would be an efficient way to increase coverage. The ACA's Medicaid expansion is far more expensive than ever projected. What the CBA told you, all these, well, the CBA scored at this. Even they didn't comprehend how much this is going to actually cost people. Broker Promise number 7, it would increase economic growth. The ACA resulted in smaller businesses, fewer full-time jobs, and significant disincentives to work. And you know why? Like, I was working at Staples at the time. And when the ACA changed, you had to give all of your full-time employees health care. So what did all the corporations want? They wanted me to hire a whole bunch more people, but only give them 12 to 15 hours. They didn't want people over 22 hours, if I remember correctly. We only had 3 people working over 35 hours because I think it was 35 was like you were full-time at 35 hours. 35 hours or more, you were full-time, I think, according to that. But they didn't want to take people over 22. So I had to hire a whole bunch more people. That way they kept way more people on part-time, but they also paid people a hell of a lot less. And people don't remember this is how the corporations and the businesses were forced to react to this new law. Broken Promise, what's this? Number 10, 11? Is this where we at? If you like your doctor, we already know that one. If you like your plan, the individual market will become a competitive, robust marketplace. Enrollment was half of what was expected. And deductibles and more restrictive private provider networks were more than expected throughout 2020, 2024. So it did not create a more robust private network. As a matter of fact, it killed the private network. It killed it. And now the only thing that you had left was that one horseshit option that, in my opinion, is designed to fail to bring in true universal health care that they want to be bringing in anyway. The ACA would decrease emergency department used as newly insured individuals to finally have a normal place of care. The ACA did not decrease emergency room visits. Matter of fact, they went up since that's happened. Why? I think because we let a whole bunch more fucking people in, and we give them all care. And Broker Promise number 12, the ACA would end abuses by health insurance companies. And the fact of the matter is, the ACA has been a gift for health insurers with its massive government subsidies. Everybody, this is the results of this. These are the results of that plan. Those were the results of Obama. Nothing that man said during selling of Obamacare came true for you, the citizen of this country. Nothing. As a matter of fact, everything that the critics said was going to happen came true. And the saddest part about this is the critics, the Republicans at the time, today don't have the balls to stand up, say it wasn't true, and put in place a plan to make it actually better. You know why? Because they don't fucking have one. But everybody's looking for the next government that's going to save them. It's fucking hysterical. The boat says, hell yeah, thanks for the plug, brother. Third host is Rob. Third host of Wolves and Wiseman is Rob. Hell yeah. Jake Calder says, I like the biathlon when you ski, shoot, and then rifle. We have some comments in the Facebook chat. Let's check it out. Steve Wood says, cheers. I love it. A glitch in the matrix. Bro, when you start getting too good, man, they want to take you down somehow. I'm going to say it's the Jews attacking my system. Jerry Calder says, hello, watching curling is worse than watching paint dry. Nick Salanitro, what's going on, Nick? Everyone check him out, man. Nick Salanitro on Facebook. It's Mr. Fit Nick on all of his other pages. He does a lot of videos on healthcare, but he also does a lot of videos on everything, nationwide topics. Check him out. Dude does a really good job. Eric McDonald said, healthcare coverage has gone up since Trump was elected. Mine went up about extra $150 this year from last year. Why? Well, that's a very simple reason, Eric. So first off, the ACA was such a horrible law that when the Republicans came in, they did a couple key things that really gutted the law in and of itself. See, the individual mandate forcing everybody to get on this or making them pay was, if they didn't have the people show up for this and the numbers that they thought that they were going to have them show up for, then it didn't make sense for the insurance companies on what they were promised to get out of this bill, okay? So when you have that type of situation where the insurance companies were promised numbers and then all of a sudden, the amount of people that went there, even with the individual mandate, because people like me are like, I'll pay a $700 fine on my taxes over $30,000 for healthcare with an $8,000 deductible. You're going to find me a $700 the first year, $1,000, whatever the fuck it was. Okay. But when the Republicans came in there, that was one of the things they ran on and they got rid of it. So that gutted that aspect of it, but it needed to be gutted because it didn't do what it was intended to do in the first place. So then what happened? You have a situation where a lot of these providers and a lot of the doctors for that didn't take this coverage because what they do is they set prices. And a lot of time the prices were set so low. So what was the result to you? Your doctor now only sees you for 15 minutes. He runs in, runs out, throws a script your way, sends you the fuck out. He has to see 20, 30 more people. You don't have the actual care in the doctor because now you're just a number and they have to turn you over in order to make any money. This is just the reality of what that law did to you. So then what started happening? Doctors were like, dude, I can't do care like this. We have to start charging a little more and I have to start seeing some less people so I could actually give people care because we didn't get healthier because it wasn't a system designed to get healthier. It was just a system designed for coverage. So then what happened was after Donald Trump and the Republicans didn't do a fucking thing to address it, when the Democrats came back in the office in 2020, I think it was 2021, they signed all the subsidies, right? It was all they said to combat the COVID increases because everything was going up due to COVID and doing all the trillions of dollars that they were spending. So the Democrats signed the subsidies into law that really what it did was it subsidized even richer people's healthcare, people that could cover, that could pay for it. It opened up the net of who could claim subsidies under the ACA. And they did this because healthcare costs were exploding. So what they said was healthcare costs are exploding. We have to do something tax-wise so it doesn't look as bad for the ACA. Because again, you have election after election after election, Eric. So then what happened? The Democrats designed that subsidy to expire December of last year, which it has expired. This was one of the things that they were claiming that they shut the government down the first time on. Okay, so the reason why your healthcare costs have gone up, even through Trump, because Trump didn't touch it, besides getting rid of a couple of the provisions inside Obamacare, that's all he did. He claims he saved it. No, he didn't. It was absolute trash to begin with. It was trash. So your healthcare costs have exploded for one reason and one reason only. The country bought the lies that a Democrat told over and over and over and over again. Somehow they could sell things to you under false pretenses, but we can't as businesses do it. Go figure that one out. But the Democrats lied to you, and then the Democrats artificially kept the prices low, but they weren't low. They were high. You understand what I'm saying? They artificially kept them not skyrocketing. when they actually are. We're skyrocketing. But you know what I'm talking about. They tried slowing it down. They got exposed. They couldn't make a deal because all they want to do is obstruct Trump and not actually give a shit about you, who's paying way more for your health care. And I'm going to toss this in here. You have feckless, piece of shit Republicans who claim they have ideas and they never bring them out there to actually be voted on as law. You have Republicans that will skirt this issue and they care more about everything else like Ukraine and Israel and all this other happy horse shit than your health care. And the crazy part about it, RFK, the dude who's a Democrat that came in, who has made the biggest dent in health, in Americans' health, is actually being hated on right now. Fucking go figure that one out. Jay Calda says, the Jews just froze my screen. Damn Jews. And I am officially out of water. I hope my wife could bring me water. I hope my wife could bring it to me. Hey, Eric McDonald, let me know, was that a serviceable question or a serviceable answer to your question? I think I fucking nailed it, if we're being very honest with each other. Mike Jones says, I'm a Jew and I support almost 90% of what you say. Keep it up. Mike Jones, bro, I love you, man. Not a part of Lakewood community or anything like that. Even if, you know, Mike Jones, even if you were part of Lakewood community, I don't have a problem with you, man. I really don't. Here's the issue I have. It's you have bad things going on in that community, and I wish more people in that community that were like you spoke up like I did, because you know we have some common ground and we have some common views, and I think the hatred would be a lot less if we could you know actualize those common things. And I don't hate anybody for who they are. I don't like people for what they do. You know, and I know plenty of fucking awesome people. So it's contrary to popular belief. I love making fun of Jews because it's just fucking funny. Especially sometimes with the way they look. I'm sorry, dude. Orthodox Hasidic Jews, you are easy to make fun of by how you look. With the curls and the hats and the big fucking Russian hat. I love those, man. I want one, but I hear they're like 10 G's. That's crazy. But seriously, I love it, dude. I love all people. That's where everybody gets me wrong. I love all people. I just think nobody is immune to criticism, including myself. I would love to get on a call to answer your questions. Dude, you know what's funny? I've had a lot of people offer that to me, and I've taken up every single one of them. Mike Jones, send me a message. I will be happy to talk to you at any point, anytime about this. Ryan Erdai, one answer I would love to hear from a Democrat politician. If the ACA is so affordable, why does it need to be subsidized to the point you're willing to shut down the government over it? That's a great point. And if the ACA was so phenomenal, then why don't any of the people that voted on it, that put it together, that apparently read it, why aren't they on it themselves? Why do they have their own separate healthcare that's way better than ours? Why don't these people have to act and live under the rules that they create? Wouldn't that be a novel concept? Mike Jones says about the community. Damn right about the community. Let me know about all of it. I'm here to learn. You know, if people don't realize something about me, I'm much more open-minded than people think. I'm open-minded, but I'm very closed-minded to bullshit, and I think I'm very good at deciphering bullshit very fast. So when people start bringing me bullshit, I throw it back at them, but I love it. I want to know all I can, because the God's honest truth is, if you guys can't see what I'm trying to do, I think the two-party system, based on the two parties that we have, has been an utter complete failure. And I think it's only designed to keep everybody in tight, stupid little fucking idiot groups. And while we're over here arguing about the Super Bowl, there's powerful people that are just steamrolling us and steamrolling us and steamrolling us because they are funding the very arguments that we're having. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convince everybody that we're either Americans or we're nothing. And I hope we could be Americans, because that's that's the only way I see this working. It's Johnny 69 says, yeah, let's go, bro. Oh yeah, to you're 40. He's definitely 40 years old. It's crazy. He looks much younger. He looks like he's fucking 26. Yankee 68. Can we build a mosque in the middle of Lakewood? I can tell you right now, 100%, no, you cannot build a mosque in the middle of Lakewood. But let's move on a little bit to to actually wait, hold on. I'll read one more. Eric McDonald, ready? One more question. You asked a really good one last time. Bigger question is Nancy Guthrie's media coverage. What is this hiding? We know that if it was our mom, there'll be no news coverage at all. What is being distracted from? Well, they are releasing a whole hell of a lot of things on the Epstein files. What's in there? Nobody's come out with anything smoking gun right now. So I think it's a hell of a lot more posturing. Could it be a very slow news week? That's always a possibility, but it's been a slow news like 2 weeks. So, they're beating this to fucking death. Nancy Guthrie, I mean, she has been on TV for a really long time. It's a story. It's obviously getting ratings. So they're continuing to do it. But what are they hiding? I think it could be one of fucking 17 different things that they're hiding. Everything's moving so fast. I don't see the need to hide something for 2 weeks. But what if there was something in the Epstein files, and I'm not going through all 3 million, pages. I'm going to rely on the people that have people that do this, honestly, because to me, if there's something that revealing, it's going to be out there. It's going to be put out. And I think the theme to the Epstein files is really, you see the undergirdings of the beast. You see the underbelly of the beast. It doesn't show you the legs, the fingers, the toes, the reproductive organs, the sexual videos and all that shit. But what you saw is part of the problem, where you have all these people that are intermingled with each other, that have been intermingled with each other, that are in powerful positions forever. And it's really those people that are controlling our lives. That's just the reality of the situation. But let's move on to some fun shit. Well, not fun. I mean, I find this stuff incredibly fun, but you tell me. Let's shift gears to immigration. All right. And I want to start this off with Ronald Reagan. Here's a minute and 57 seconds of Ronald Reagan on immigration. I believe this is in 1980 against Mondale.
But it is true our borders are out of control. It is also true that this has been a situation on our borders back through a number of administrations. And I supported this bill. I believe in the idea of amnesty for those who have put down roots and who have lived here, even though some time back they may have entered illegally. With regard to the employer sanctions, we must have that, not only to ensure that we can identify the illegal aliens, but also, while some keep protesting about what it would do to employers, there is another employer that we shouldn't be so concerned about. And these are employers down through the years who have encouraged the illegal entry into this country, because they then hire these individuals and hire them at starvation wages and with none of the benefits that we think are normal and natural for workers in our country, and the individuals can't complain because of their illegal status. We don't think that those people should be allowed to continue operating free. And this was why the provisions that we had in with regard to sanctions and so forth. And I'm going to do everything I can, and all of us in the administration are, to join in again, when Congress is back at it, to get an immigration bill that will give us once again control of our borders. And with regard to friendship below the border and with the countries down there, yes, no administration that I know has established the relationship that we have with our Latin friends. But as long as they have an economy that leaves so many people in dire poverty and unemployment, they are going to seek that employment across our borders, and we work with those other countries.
So what did you hear there? You heard a lot of the same exact problems that are going on today. Hey, guess what? Those countries suck. They have to fix their country. You're going to have people wanting to come here. Did we do anything? No, definitely not. Didn't do that. Spent billions of dollars, trillions probably at this fucking point. But the same things. Hey, we have got to do this, and we're going to fix this problem once and for all. We're going to fix it once and for all. And what did you see? And I touched on this before, but what did you see? You got the even before that. I mean, this was John Kennedy. Do we have Kennedy? I think I actually have a John F. Kennedy. No, they didn't have any video on him doing that. But what you have is you had an immigration bill in the 1965s, and this is it. Ready? Let's go through this. This is John F. Kennedy. Now, John F. Kennedy and Nixon, I think it was Nixon. They had a debate I was watching today, and they briefly touched on it, but they wanted to relax immigration, to have a softer stance on it, to allow families to come in. So this was the immigration. It was the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. It abolished the discriminatory national origins quota system that favored Northern Europeans, replacing with a new system focused on family reunification and skilled immigrants. Signed by President Lyndon Johnson, it removed bans on Asian immigration and significantly altered U.S. demographics. Okay? And here's some of the key provisions to it. The act removed the 1920s era quota system. The new policy prioritized family, with roughly 74% of visas allocated to individuals joining family members in the U.S. Skill-based preferences, a portion of the visas were reserved for professionals and scientists, and caps on immigration. It set an annual cap of 170,000 immigrants from the Eastern Hemisphere, a max of 20,000 per country, and 120,000 from the Western. So it basically did stuff like that. Now, we are able to go through hindsight and say, what happened based on that law? Okay. And what happened based on that law was massive, unforeseen chain migration via family reunification, causing very, very high immigration levels. It wrongly assumed that lower immigration demand from Asia and Latin America capped the Western Hemisphere immigration for the first time. It created rather than solved problems with illegal immigration. So it created its own problems. This is what this bill was designed to stop. It was designed to be, a certain way. What happened? Humans took advantage of it, and it created a laundry list of future problems. Again, chain migration, a rise in illegal immigration by imposing the first ever numerical limits on people. It bottlenecked the legal immigration system, right? Combined with that fueled the illegal undocumented immigration from Mexico. Do you see how there was a problem? 1965, Kennedy, all these guys, I have a solution for this problem. They create a solution, boom, more things are created, more problems are created out of it, a couple more failures. A misjudged demographic shift, ignoring national realities. The act treated neighboring countries like Mexico the same as distant nations, right? So you have failure after failure after failure with this. And the labor market matched that while designed to prioritize skilled workers. The emphasis on family reunification meant that immigration often did not align with specific immediate U.S. labor market needs. So what did you have? You had people sitting out in front of 7-Elevens, diving to get fucking picked up by others. This is what this created down the road. And then you had Ronald Reagan saying shit like that. Then you had Bush saying things like this. And this is 2 minutes and 40 seconds of Bush and Reagan. So hold on, Ray. Let me 1980. Let me bring it up like this because this is better.
David Grossberg, and I'd like to know, do you think the children of illegal aliens should be allowed to attend Texas public schools free, or do you think that their parents should pay for their education?
Who are you addressing that to?
I think you're first in this.
He was looking right at you. I said he was. Look, I'd like to see something done about the illegal alien problem that would be so sensitive and so understanding about labor needs and human needs that problem wouldn't come up.
So did you just hear that? This is George Bush Sr. And if you remember, again, let's go back and remember who these fucking people are. You had him. What did he say? I would like to see this with compassion, with the needs. And this is, all this. And then you had George Bush, his son. They called him the compassionate conservative. And we're going to talk about him in a second as well. But what did you hear right now? What did you hear out of this guy?
Today, if those people are here, I would reluctantly say I think they would get whatever it is that they're, what the society is giving to their neighbors. But the problem has to be solved. The problem has to be solved because as we have kind of made illegal some kinds of labor that I'd like to see legal, We're doing two things. We're creating a whole society of really honorable, decent, family-loving people that are in violation of the law, and secondly, we're exacerbating relations with Mexico. The answer to your question is much more fundamental than...
So the answer to your question is much more fundamental. You know, people just wanted to be here. They want to live here. They're good, honorable, hardworking, decent people. And we made them illegal. This is a fucking Republican. This is a Republican in 1980, everybody. This isn't a Democrat versus a Republican. This is a Republican versus a Republican right now.
Whether they attend Houston schools, it seems to me. I don't want to see a whole, if they're living here, I don't want to see a whole thing of 6- and 8-year-old kids being made, you know, one totally uneducated and made to feel that they're living with outside the law. Let's address ourselves to the fundamentals. These are good people, strong people. Part of my family is a Mexican.
Good people, strong people. They're part of my family as a Mexican. I didn't realize Bush was Mexican. Maybe Bush beans and Mexicans are beaners. Like, you know, you've heard that said before in your lives, right? Oh, man, they're like my people, the Mexicans. I just love. Don't I just sound Mexican as I speak completely prim and proper, perfect, punctuated perfection of English? That's what the fuck. Jake Caldas says Bush was a one world order guy. He wanted the world to be run by the United Nations. Well, his dad, Prescott Bush, was a one world order guy as well. And they put that shit in motion. Who knows? Back in the 50s, right? The boat says we still have companies hiring illegals and paying shit wages. Exactly. Now let's listen to Ronald Reagan.
And I add to that, I think the time has come that the United States and our neighbors, particularly our neighbor to the south, should have a better understanding and a better relationship than we've ever had. And I think that we haven't been sensitive enough to our size and our power. They have a problem of 40 to 50% unemployment. Now, this cannot continue without the possibility arising with regard to that other country that we talked about, of Cuba and what it is stirring up, of the possibility of trouble below the border, and we could have a very hostile and strange neighbor on our border. Rather than making them or talking about putting up a fence, why don't we work out some recognition of our mutual problems, make it possible for them to come here legally with a work permit, and then while they're working and earning here, they pay taxes here. And when they want to go back, they can go back, and they can cross and open the border both ways by understanding their problems. This is the only safety valve right now they have with that unemployment that probably keeps the lid from blowing off down there. And I think we could have a fine relationship, and it would solve the problem you mentioned also.
You just heard DACA. You just heard DACA. This is all the Reagan Republicans. I am a Reagan Republican. I'll have you know, I prefer Reagan as my Republican of choice. Well, he just proposed DACA. Anybody else hear that shit? You remember what DACA was? DACA was this guy.
And you can keep your plan.
That's him. That was his ass. 2012, DACA. Despite his promise to pass major immigration, President Obama's first major act on immigration came in 2012. He announced an executive order titled Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals, which resulted in renewable 2-year grants from protection of deportation, plus work permits and identity documents for approximately 700,000 illegal alien kids. And they were talking about a pathway to citizenship. Do you remember that? So what did 1990 or what was it? 1986 immigration. Ready? Here's the 1986 Reform and Control Act. This is Ronald Reagan. Signed the Immigration Reform and Control Act, also known as the Simpson-Mazzoli Act. November 6, 1986, this bipartisan legislation aimed to curb illegal immigration by penalizing employers who hired undocumented workers while providing legal status to nearly 3 million qualifying immigrants who entered the U.S. before 1982. Ronald Reagan gave a pathway to citizenship. And all of the Reagan Republicans said, fuck your pathway. I'm a Reagan conservative. You know what? What would Ronald Reagan do? Definitely not a pathway to citizenship. No fucking way. Wow. And some key aspects of this. Ready? Legalization. Yeah. Again. Funny, isn't it? Allowed undocumented immigrants who resided continuously in the United States since January 1st, 1992 to apply for temporary and then permanent legal status. Employer sanctions made it illegal to knowingly hire, recruit, and refer for a fee any unauthorized alien. And agricultural workers provided special legal status for certain seasonal agricultural workers. And the goal was to establish a more secure and orderly immigration system. Did that happen, ladies and gentlemen? Did it? You tell me. You tell me if any of the things that they're talking about actually came true, because you had the 1990s. 1990 Congress again reformed immigration statutes. The 1990 Immigration Act modified and expanded the 1965 Act. Yes. So after we learned all of the problems of the 1965 Act, it said, you know what? This shit didn't work. 1990, we have the problem all over again, everybody. And then you know what we did? We did this same fucking thing. Let's expand the 1965 Act and significantly increase the total level of immigration to 700,000 and increasing the available visas to 40% more. And the act retained the family reunification as a major entry path, while more than doubling employment-related immigration. So we did the exact same thing as 1965. We didn't learn from the problems of 1965. Some of the same jerk-offs that were there in 1990 were there in 1965, and they passed the same exact stupid horseshit that created the same exact stupid horseshit results. And it's people like us that we're wondering about, oh, Savannah Guthrie's mom. She's really been missing for this long. And we're arguing about Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl, and we're arguing about all of this happy horseshit. When your government in 1965 and 1990 did the exact same stupid bill, and nothing came out of it. Then, of course, you had the 1996 Reform Act, because we just passed some awesome shit in 1990. So in 1996, of course, we had to do more. The Illegal Immigrant Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act. It added to border controls, mandating the hiring of more border patrol and immigration. Right? I mean, we could keep going and going and going. 2012 DACA. Then we had 2014 DAPA. If you don't remember what DAPA was, this was DAPA. The following year, President Obama announced an additional executive order entitled Deferred Action for Parents of Americans. In November 2014, this would have granted 3-year renewable work permits and exception from deportation of illegal aliens of children who are American citizens or lawfully permanent residents. Approximately 3.6 million aliens would have been eligible for this. This is what we're doing, guys. This is, I tried showing you this stuff today because I hope you could see this. In this world and in our political system, they are legit recycling old bills. And we know they have not worked. They've never worked. We have the history of them. We have the backing of them. We know what the results are. We could Monday morning. This is stuff that we could actually Monday morning quarterback, learn from our mistakes, have a film session like we're doing right now. I feel like I'm the coach. You know when you're the coach and you only know this if you play football. But when they let's say you had a horrible game, right? Like a fucking horrible game. And the football coach has got a play on, and the play went to shit. And this coach is going person to person And it's like, what the fuck did you do here? You didn't block anybody. This guy just deked you. Hey, watch out, Kel. You know, they're ripping person after person. And then you realize, watching the film over and over, that you fucked up too. And you're like, please don't single me out. Please don't see it. Please don't see it. And then all of a sudden the coach goes, and fucking calories, what are you doing? You know what happened? You didn't want to face the coach screaming at you. You didn't want to face the video in your face showing you that you were wrong and that you need to get better. You didn't want to do it. But when you actually had to confront it, face it, put it on film, and not want to get it seen on film again, you changed. And you didn't fuck up the same way twice. And if you did, you didn't play back then. And I feel like that's what's going on today with these people. We have not watched the tape that's clearly on tape. And they forget it exists. We forget it exists because we're on to the next thing. We never look in the past to see how did they mess up in the past. And that means how are they going to mess up in the future, because they're going to be doing the exact same stupid things that cost me and you the same problems that they have been costing since 1965. And I have another video, but it's like 5 minutes long. This is Bush and Clinton. This is a very interesting video. Maybe I'll play it on Friday because Wednesday we actually have Teacher New Jersey coming on the show. I had it like it is pre-recorded, so I'm gonna do it like a little monologue and then cut into that and we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time with that. Teacher New Jersey. She does some awesome videos, very knowledgeable in the schools. We talk about just the New Jersey school system. We have a really, really good time with that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it Wednesday or do it like do it its own show, maybe a bonus show on Thursday, something like that. Still kicking that around, but we will see what happens. But let's get the last couple of comments in the chat. The boat says we still, oh yeah, I read that one already. Bush was a one world order guy. Yep. All their bullshit. What about Fort Knox? What about Fort Knox? Come on. We're never going to see everyone understands this. We're never going to see Fort Knox gold. Oh, guys, again, this is all a distraction. This is all a show. And, you know, if you really want to be a caltrop, I think it's going to require you guys to take a lot of your programming. And I think you have to take your programming and you have to realize that what you've been subjected to this entire time is orchestrated. They know how to lie to you convincingly and fast enough to where you forget the lie that you were already told just a few days ago. And if you guys want to be caltrops, like I'm trying to strive to be the fucking ultimate caltrop, where no bullshit could penetrate me. I still get slapped with it every once in a while because it's hard to decipher. But real caltrops are gonna look in the past, and we're gonna see what did we do wrong? How did this bill affect us? How did this bill affect us? And maybe we stopped doing the things that went wrong in the first place. We stopped doubling, we stopped tripling down. We admit that we made some mistakes here and there. Because I don't know what the problem is with just admitting that you made a mistake in politics. I think the problem is we're all so superficial not to allow it to completely consume us. Oh, can you believe that guy made a mistake? I think we got to start accepting mistakes for what the hell they are. They're just fucking mistakes. And like everything else, like every other mistake that we make in our lives, if we don't learn from them, we're going to repeat them. But the most dangerous part is when we defend the mistake like politicians do today, even locally. Yeah, I just got it with a snow removal response. When they don't own up to their mistakes, they'll never learn from it, and we will be stuck dealing with their mistakes forever because apparently we don't want to get together and force them to come to terms with their mistakes. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit tonight. I know I learned a lot going through this. I got to tell you something. It's really cool listening to these people talk. You know, listening to Reagan talk about immigration and then listening to what Republicans say he said now. It doesn't jive. None of it jives. None of it works. And you guys wonder why I go after Republicans and Democrats on a weekly basis. Because I see two groups of people that have everybody so fucked in their mind that you are so dug into your corners just lobbing bombs. And it's the bombs that they're handing you. And you fundamentally don't even understand that they're saying things that the other side said 2 or 20 years ago and vice versa. It's going back and forth. And they're just kind of flip-flopping, trading places. And we're too stupid to realize it. Or maybe, I'm not going to say stupid. I think we're too preoccupied with current events to look in the past to realize really what's been taking place. I got to tell you that. Everybody that was watching, we had a big, I love it. A lot of people in the Facebook chat. Anywhere you want to watch me, guys, I prefer you watch me. I really don't care what platform. I am on Rumble, live on YouTube. We are Center Cut Media on those two platforms. Or you can watch me right here on the Mike Calderese channel on my Facebook page. Facebook has been one of my absolute best pages. It's like my page has been unlocked. It really is. I used to get seven likes and 49 views of the exact same people. Now the family is growing. The Caltrop family is growing. The amount of thinkers that are on this page, the amount of comments, the engagement, everyone, I absolutely love it. This is how you get noticed. And if we want to have any representation, and I mean this locally and I mean this nationally, we have to stop relying on the people that have failed us for 50 to 100 years now. We have to stop. And at some point, we have to wake up. I really think it's on a local level. Locally, we have to get involved in our local business and our local politics. Take over locally. Because you could actually make changes. And if we can make enough changes locally, then maybe we could start affecting statewide and nationwide politics. To me, that's the ultimate goal. That's what we have to strive for. Yankee 68 says, later, Yankee 68. Love you, man. Love all you guys in the chat. Everybody in the Rumble chat. And be sure, everybody, to check out all of our friends. Tomorrow night, you have two great shows that are popping up. We have my man, Mike from PT Pod. I know he's not on Fridays anymore, but I do love the show. Him, Dave Patterson, his buddy, Mike, and another guy, I don't know his name. They're on the show. They do Power Sports Time. It's like slap fighting, but it's also like all alternative sports. Very fun. It's a fun show. If you want to get away from the politics, check them out. Obviously, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you have Wolves and Wiseman on the Reignited channel on Rumble. Check them out. That is the boat. All of our friends here. Nick Salanitro, check out Nick Salanitro on his pages. He's doing some wonderful things as far as that's concerned. And everybody else that has been cool with us. I obviously, Teacher New Jersey's coming on. If you haven't seen hers, Teacher in New Jersey, check her out on all these platforms. She does a really good job. And listen, New Jersey issues are issues for a lot of these states, especially a lot of liberal states. You want to see what's going on in New Jersey and never, ever repeat it. But thank you guys very much. Remember, finger blast my like button. Share the shit out of this. Let's get a Caltrop army. We need legions of Caltrops. Legions of people that are pulling in the exact same direction of America, of America's founding principles. We need legions of us. And I'm telling you, if we do this, we're going to have some power and we're going to have a voice. And I'm sick and tired of not having a voice, even though I could talk nonstop without losing it. Somehow, don't know. It's a magic gift. But thank you guys very much. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. I will see you Wednesday, same time, same place, 8 p.m. And this Caltrop is out. Later.